Thank you for joining us here today. I'm Cecil Pendergrass, Lee County Commissioner of District 2. I'm joined here with our Chairman of the Board, Brian Hammond, and also Ray Sandelli, the Commissioner of District 3. So thank you all for being here today on this beautiful sunny day in Florida. And also, thank you to all the veterans that served. We're coming out past the Memorial Day holiday this weekend. We had a great weekend here in Lee County, but I'd like to thank all those who served, like Commissioner Ray Sandelli, who's a veteran from the U.S. Navy and a Blue Angels pilot itself, and those who continue to serve our country to protect us. I'd like to also thank Supervisor of Elections Tommy Doyle for allowing us to use this facility this week. This is a great facility. It gets used a lot behind the scenes throughout the year through the different elections. But at times like this is when we all come together, the county agencies all work together. And I'd like to thank all his staff and also all the county staff, over 100 Lee County staff that's working on this project here to help our neighbors. And it's our neighbors and our friends and our business owners here to rebuild and take care of our neighbors. Something like this you cannot plan for. We've had experience the last 3 months. There's no preparedness for this. I've been involved with public safety, emergency management over 36 years. I never ever thought we'd have to do what we've done the last 3 months here in Lee County. There's no plan. There's a plan now though. And Lee County has a plan, and we're going to take care of our neighbors, and we're going to rebuild and come out this ahead. Today you're going to hear from staff and you hear from us about different programs we have offered now. In Lee County now we have the PPE website applications being processed now to help our businesses, small business owners, and even the businesses so important to our community right now, like food banks, to get food back out to our community. It's an important time for us all to work together, and we will continue doing that. With the individual assistance program, individuals get up to over $2,000, up to $2,000 per person. And we urge people, if your needs because of what's happened recently with the COVID-19, to please apply for these assistance programs. Small business relaunch program went up to $5,000 per business. That includes, like I said before, small businesses, food pantries, and other services. One thing that's happened lately is people are not able to go back to work because if they or their businesses are opening, they have child care concerns. Child care services not open, or they don't have the funds to afford child care. So this program provides child care assistance. We're working with United Way and other networks providers, of Gold Seal providers, and you just call 211 for more information for that. The website for this process of the program is www.LeeFLCares.com. The results so far have been astronomical. As of today, as it just started this morning, as of noon, we have 1,800 businesses applied, 4,724 individual people applied, and 356 businesses applied for the PPE source supplies. So far, 240 of those businesses have already scheduled this Thursday, Friday to come through here. You're going to see a mock transition, what people will go through to pick up the supplies. The supplies consist of masks, cleaning supplies, and also this sign here, Commissioner Sandelli is holding up here, will be providing to give businesses. So if you're reopening under the CDC guidelines, you will be able to put these in your businesses to make sure to tell the visitors of the business to make sure you stay 6 feet apart. Thank you, Ray. Next, I'd like to introduce our Chairman of the Board, Lee County Commission, Brian Hammond.
Thank you, Commissioner Pendergrass, and thanks again for hosting us in District 2 today. Real quickly, just wanted to share a few comments of gratitude. As Commissioner Pendergrass mentioned, we have more than 100 people working from the county to try and process applications. We knew that the need was great in Lee County because of the amount of people who have been put out of work and the amount of businesses that have been closed over the last couple of months. But I think the fact that in basically 4 hours, we had almost 7,000 applications really demonstrates that a lot of people and a lot of businesses are really hurting out there. And we're going to do everything we can to get this money to them and get the supplies to them that they need to get back in business and to help them out. It was great to see things kind of return to some sort of normal over the Memorial Day weekend, to see some people get out and actually enjoy businesses. And I know that there's a light at the end of this tunnel, and things are only going to get better from here. Our staff, the more than 100 who are working on this, they said they're going to make sure that website doesn't crash and that we get those applications processed and we get the money in people's hands. And that's what we're going to hold them to. And I thank them very much for their hard work. Thank you all.
Again, the items I pointed out before about the supplies, there's a table here with the visual supply of what those people businesses will be receiving. Next, I'd like to introduce Commissioner Ray Sandelli of District 3. Commissioner.
Well, I hope you all had a good weekend. I happened to be out on the water on Saturday. You know, water has probably never looked better. So that was a nice start to the weekend. And yesterday, Memorial Day, I hope all of you had a chance to take time to honor those that went before us. One thing I just wanted to mention, you saw a lot of the information think about this. This was about approximately 3.5 weeks ago that this money came our way. And so you had to decide how you were going to disseminate that. We talked a lot internally, within our committees. We had a lot of input, from the community, and we took that into consideration as well. But in 3.5 weeks, developed processes, a platform, and I was up there this morning with our team, and they are working hard. And when you think about what has to happen within that short period of time, it really is pretty phenomenal. And so I want to thank them, the team, the whole Lee County team. We're there to serve. We want to do it as efficiently as we can, as quickly as possible. So thank you.
Like I said before, 36 years of my life spent in emergency management, public safety, and Commissioner Sandeli's had a longer career, a little bit longer than that, through his veteran experience and his commercial experience. And we've all seen different things in our community, but I am just honored to be a member of the Lee County government. To see our employees come together and our management team pull our resources together has been astonishing to watch how we work together. You're going to hear next from Jeff Milkey. He's going to walk you through what's going to happen out here later in the week with the mock drive-thrus coming through, with people coming through pick up supplies. And these are going to be employees that's coming from the library system, Parks and Recs, and employees have been reassigned to take care of our neighbors. And this is what it's about, is the Lee County taking care of its neighbors and taking care of our families and friends. So now, Jeff?
Good afternoon, Jeff Milkey. Most of you know me with our sports development office, but as Commissioner Pendergrass stated, these are unique times. And so all of us have had to pivot and do things that will help our community. And I'm honored to be helping oversee this PPE distribution program. We have some amazing Lee County staff here helping us with Parks and Recreation, from our facilities department, from libraries, and that's not to mention, again, the 100 of employees in the loan processing and small business grant call centers right now. So just to tell you a little bit about how this is going to work, starting on Thursday morning, right now everyone who is applying is getting an application approval in their emails, and so they've been assigned a time to come to this distribution center, either in the AM or the PM. They will come here, they will pull up. Outside, we'll have first a verification point that they do have a receipt that's valid for that day. Then we will move them around. We're going to form 2 car lines, and once they get to the second tent, then there will be a verification computer that basically checks to make sure that that the business is valid and that we mark them as fulfilled. And then they will be given a slip, either that says they will get a large PPE kit or a small kit, and then they will move up, and we will have a number of people here fulfilling that order, putting them right in their cars. We want this to be touchless. We want to make sure that the citizen or business owner never has to get out of their vehicle, and so we're going to take care of this from the time they drive up. As Commissioner said, you can see the kit sizes here on this table, and it should be a fairly seamless process.
Thank you, Jeff. And at this time, we'll take any questions from the media, if you'd like to have any questions. Bill. Well, but social contact. Businesses are going to have, but they're open for business based upon the GDC standards, the CDC standards. And if they're open, and how many people are going to be coming, how many people would actually visit that facility? Doctor's office is a little bit different than a retail store, for example. So fast food restaurants can be a little bit more high volume, and that's how they determine between the sizes of the packages. Who had that knowledge for the staff? Glenn, do we know? What's the total count for the? Yeah, come on up. Glenn has all the numbers. What's the numbers at?
Good afternoon, Glenn Salyer, Assistant County Manager. Right now in stock we have approximately 1 million masks, 500,000 gloves, 5,000 gallons of hand sanitizer, and another 5,000 1-liter bottles of sanitizer. We also have disinfectant supplies, and we have more coming. One of the questions was why we decided to go down this road. The commissioners and staff were hearing that in order to protect their employees and their customers, that companies needed this to get back up and running. This is very difficult stuff to obtain, and as a county, we have a little bit better buying power than would a small business.
I've been out in the community every day, and I've seen the confidence coming back in the community. I've seen restaurants getting busier. Now you're seeing, before it was all takeout, now you're seeing people staying and consuming based upon the CDC guidelines of 50% occupancy. I'm seeing the traffic increase. I think we're all seeing that. I think the numbers will show that. So the buyer confidence has come back, and they're out there spending money. Exactly. So this current phase we're at now with the $57 million, which actually was increased thanks to Commissioner Ray Sandelli here, it was initially $50 million. So based upon his motion to increase it to $57.5 million, this is phase one. And once that money is gone, yes, we're going to go right into phase two, and that's something the board will discuss and approve later to come back to reestablish more money for, it's $134 million total for Lee County. And hopefully, if people in need, they're applying for it. That's why we need you to get the message out, because there are people out there in need that do not know this is even offered. So I'm out there personally every day trying to get the message out to the community. Need your help to do that too, and hopefully people will see this that are in need. There's a lot of individuals out there, single moms and people out there that need these resources, and hopefully that they will use this and benefit from it. Well, the money doesn't come directly to them. So, for example, if you have a past due bill for Florida Power and Light, once they apply and that gets approved, then our resources will pay Florida Power and Light for that bill. So the money's not going to go directly to that person for those resources for rent, mortgage, and for utilities. Yeah. So, do we have a timeline for that? Yeah, so we'll have money go out next week. Where you are in that line, though, we had a lot of applications already today, so it's going to continue on. So I say probably within the next 3 weeks, somebody should be seeing those resources come forward. The most important thing is making sure people's, power stays on, those bills and they don't have to worry about their essential services like their water bill and their light bill or their rent. They're not going to be kicked out on the curb. So we're making sure those essentials are covered for that.
The call centers went live this morning at 8 a.m., just like the applications. We've seen a steady volume, heavier on the individual assistance side than on the business side. The call takers assist applicants with their application while they're filling it out online. And thus far, as Chairman Hammond mentioned, we've taken almost 7,000 of those applications just since 8 a.m. today. Sure. So they submit the application online. It goes into our customer relationship management software system. That's where the reviewing process begins, and we have 3 separate levels of review for each of these applications. Just checks and balances. We're trying to put safeguards in place, obviously, to safeguard the taxpayer dollar. Great question. On the PPE side, it's first come, first served. We will schedule these pickups until supplies are exhausted. On both the individual assistance and the business relaunch grant, we are opening windows whereby we take applications. And by that I mean they open today and they will go through Friday for the first round. At that point, we will batch all of those applications and make approvals. Assuming there's still money remaining, we will reopen the applications on June 1st. If during one of those windows we become oversubscribed, we would have to go to a lottery system at that point. Well, on the business side, I'm glad to say there really is no wait time at all. They have been able to clear those queues very fast. On the human services side, from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., we've seen an average hold time of just over 4 minutes.
Fox, got a question? I know earlier this morning I was contacted by a resident that there was a plus issue. Where there was no plus being showed. So this being used for all devices, for example. So you can use it on your phone, your iPad, or desktop. And I think with the change of devices, I think that's been fixed since this morning already. Some of the devices was not downloading the page the way it should be, and they wasn't showing all the icons. That's the only thing I've heard about, and that's been resolved as of this morning. Unless there's anything else, Glenn? So, yeah, when you look at a website, you just look on your phone compared to looking on an iPad or your desktop. It's going to be a different configuration. So I think that's what they were experiencing. They were trying to get to the next mode, and they weren't able to do that. But, you know, like I said, this has all been put together over the last few weeks, and this has been what a fabulous job our team has done. You know, I think our chairman, Commissioner Hammond, who's been basically here 24 hours a day the last 2 months on this process, and getting through this from the original shutdowns to the openings now. I'd like to commend him for his leadership here on the board, and all of my colleagues and also all the county staff, because to put this together is unbelievable, what we put together, and it's going to work. It's going to work. We're going to get money back to our residents here in Lee County and help our neighbors. Any other questions? No? Okay, well, thank you for being here. Like I said, Jeff is here. We're going to show you how the drive-thru is going to work, and like Jeff said earlier, is no touch. We're trying to get basically the supplies to the business owners and not having any eye-to-eye, you know, hand-to-hand contact with anybody, so just being careful.